Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Two for Talking podcast. I'm your host, Corey Tusick. I've got Josh Yohe with The Athletic alongside comedian Joe Bartnick. You can check him out at Sadman's in Boca Raton on August 8th or 9th and Boston Comedy Studio on August 23rd. And then a special guest joining us from the Kaboly and Mac podcast. 93.7 talent, WWE social contributor, Steelers correspondent for the Pat McAfee show, and collector of Josh Yohe images. That would be Mark Kaboly. Mark, welcome to the show.
What an introduction. All that means is I can't really hold down one job, so I need like 5 of them to make ends meet, right?
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat. You know, we were in a situation recently. Somebody said, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "Well, it's kind of complicated."
Right. Mark's our first 2-time guest, right?
He is.
Yes.
That's a big deal. Wow.
Interesting enough. Two for talk.
He's roughing it. He's not in his palatial estate this time.
Speaking, wait, I got to back up. Yohe, the terrible towel. How easy is that of you?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I am who I am. Like,
you know what? Talking right now, I guarantee that terrible towel has some kind of weird story. Oh, this is 1994, and Greg Lloyd had a sack, and
no, that's for decoration purposes. I have like the 2 legitimate ones I've had all my life, but those are so beaten up, I wouldn't put them on display.
Do you bring those out for certain occasions?
I mean, if they're good, yeah. If it's actually a big game, sure.
Huh.
Like, I mean, I'm not going to humiliate them by like what happened in the playoffs last year and watch that shit. But we'll get to that later. Don't worry.
Before that,
I'm old enough to remember when you only brought the terrible towel out for playoff games.
Huh.
See, that's the way it was in the
70s.
Isn't that the truth?
There's some weird ones now. If you go look, there's like Halloween ones. I'm like, what in the world is this?
Oh,
like
we've got
jack-o'-lantern
on it.
My wife used to work at the VIP with like Franco and everything like that, and they would give away the Halloween towel every year. So she would I have a collection. I have like 10 of them, and the kids just have them everywhere. I mean, they've got pink ones, they've got camo ones. It's just nuts. But Mark, while people are filtering in, because we want to talk to you about, there's a couple things going on up in Latrobe tomorrow, but I texted you. Josh told me one time that he collects pictures of him. You collect pictures of him making interesting faces. And I was in Adobe Premiere editing our episode the one time, and just right where I landed on the episode, it was Josh making a very interesting face. So I sent it to you, and here's the picture for people that want to see it.
Look at that chubby Yohe. I love it.
So I sent that. I sent that to Mark, just be like, "Hey, Josh told me that you collect images of him," and you sent back like a folder of images.
I got so many of them.
So I want to know Josh's stories here, because this first one, I think a lot of people might have seen this kid on TV. What's going on here?
That's the night before Thanksgiving game, 1988 against the Rangers. When about a month earlier, David Shaw took out Mario, the cheap shot, and that was the big revenge game at the Igloo. And that was after, I believe, a Dan Quinn goal, and the camera went past me. I had no idea. I was like literally watching highlights, bored at work one day. And I said, Jesus, I know that looks familiar. I had to watch it again. And my mom's like, yeah, that's you. I'm like, oh, yeah, I thought it was, because I knew where we were sitting that game. So that's an impressive find, though. I didn't know Mark had that.
Probably because you sent it to me. I mean,
that's true.
Well, don't you have a video of when they won the cup? They were running through the airport, and you're like, look, there's me right there.
Yeah, I got a high five from Staggy and Mike Lang at the airport. I was 11 years old. And there's like old KDK footage of Shumway in the airport. It's unbelievable. And you can see me in a couple of the videos. I was like the only child there, I think. That was the most drunken gathering I've ever seen in my life.
Ginders on full display.
Oh my God.
One more for your viewing pleasure, audience. This is a great one.
Oh,
John.
What's stolen off of my Facebook page is what that is.
Really?
Yeah, I was like 12 or 13. That's Peters Township Middle School. I don't know what's going on there. There's some dorky kids in that picture. I was the only cool kid at that table. I don't know.
If you look real close, I think he does have a 5 o'clock shadow there.
Probably. Always been a problem.
So I just thought we'd break the ice with that because
There's
it
just
was
so
just
many. Oh,
amazing.
you know what? This is my favorite. I know you don't have it loaded, so I'm going to have to just show it.
I can.
Oh,
You send it to me. I'll put it. Oh yeah.
Did we actually run that in the Daily News? Was that the picture?
Probably.
I think we
I have no idea what you're doing here.
Mark and I worked at in McKeesport at the Daily News for many years, and some of the pictures we got away with running in the
It's like
paper.
Osama bin Laden.
Well,
well, here you did send this one too.
Gee, where's that picture, Mark?
Oh, where is that? Some morning Java.
Looks very familiar.
We might get sued. We might get sued over that.
Yeah, really.
They might get a takedown. But anyways, so I want to start, Mark, with asking you. I assume you're getting ready for camp tomorrow, going up to Latrobe, and there's a TJ Watt up there who's currently $140 million richer, and there was a little bit of back and forth between yourself and Mr. Yoey here on Twitter.
Really?
Talking about the TJ contract. So
I muted one of those. It was getting too much.
It got heated.
Was that the one with Lindsay involved too?
I think it was. People were really.
I couldn't take it anymore. I had to mute the conversation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't do anything to make it worse. No,
it was just everybody else jumping in. It was like beep, beep, beep. I'm like, I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. So, well, what are your takes on the contract? Because I mean, it's a big number. It takes him over the number that Myles Garrett had, but it doesn't really take him over it, right?
Yeah. No, it's just a 3-year extension. For the new money is 36 million, a little bit more than 36 million. Guaranteed is like 108. He wanted more years. He wanted 4, maybe 5 years. The Steelers weren't anywhere near wanting to give him that type of length in his contract. So it came together pretty quickly because it was a week before that. It didn't look like it was anywhere near being done. And, TJ came down off of his demands of, a crazy amount of years for a 31-year-old, and the Steelers were able to get the 3 years. And I think it's it's something you just have to do at this point, I think. I mean, you listen to people, and I know Twitter's toxic. Is that the word for it?
That is.
I mean, we're talking about a guy that is one of the all-time best Steeler pass rushers. And if you want to be a good team, and if you want to have a chance to win in the playoffs, I know he hasn't won in the playoffs. I understand all that. You need to bring him back. I think it was a good deal for both sides. I mean, $36.5 million of new money. You can massage that any way you want to make it more than Myles Garrett, but it really is about market average, right? I mean, you get paid what the market tells you you're going to get paid. I think they needed it. I mean, especially with everybody else they brought in, the Ramseys and the Metcalfs and the Jonnu Smiths. They're going for it this year while keeping an eye on for the future years. You can't get rid of one of your better players. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm sure other people would like to use that $40 million somewhere else. And my response was, where are you going to use it at? You're not paying your quarterback, so you got excess of money right now because you're not paying your quarterback. This is the position you want to be in, but yet we like to hear ourselves complain.
Mark, I get this question about the Penguins all the time just because of the access that we have as beat writers. So I'm going to ask you about TJ. I know what kind of a player he is. I know absolutely nothing about the human being. Seems like a nice guy on the surface. You're around these guys every day. What is he like away from the field, just in your dealings with him? What kind of a guy is he? Because I feel like we know nothing about him, even though he's been in Pittsburgh for 8 years now.
Yeah, I would probably. I mean, I don't obviously know Crosby. I think he'd be like Crosby-like, very dedicated to his craft. Doesn't really want to, deal with a lot of outside stuff. But it's not like he's not approachable, not a nice guy, but this is a guy that works his butt off, wants to win, just hasn't been able to win. I don't know if he's going to be a guy you sit down and, want to talk to or can talk to for 15 or 20 minutes and, and joke about the weather or where you ate at or anything like that. But he's mostly all business. That's his thing. He's out there trying to improve. If it's just slight moves, slight pass rushing differences that he's changed. So he's pretty much all business. I mean, there's not much going around where he shows publicly. And you hear people talk about how, all he does is whine and complain. It's probably coming from Cleveland. I don't even remember whining and complaining, to be honest with you. He just seems like a guy that if I would guess, he would be very Crosby-like, isn't his attitude.
I am pro TJ Watt. I'm glad he got his money. I'm glad there's no BS. I'm glad he's coming to camp. I'm glad he's going to go for it. But this revisionist history that somehow he's one of the top 2 or 3 greatest Steeler defensive players, it's almost like, is everyone in this town in concussion protocol? I mean, Mark, seriously. There's Mean Joe. It's Mean Joe, Jack Ham, Jack Lambert, Mel Blount, Polamalu, Woodson, probably Harris. At least the top 4. It's he can't even see with a telescope.
I think if you narrow it down a little bit and just say pass rushers, that's where you can get away with saying he's probably the best pass rusher they have.
And that I'll give you. But I still take Harrison for big game games. He's like Mike Tyson, Harrison. He scares you when you just dreaming about him scares you. And that to me is the curtain, not how much milk you can drink and how good you look, speed rushing. Just the intimidation factor is kind of not there.
Yeah. Chris Boswell once told a story about when he came in and tried out and how James Harrison would just stare at him and glare at him while he's trying to kick. Because if you remember, that was probably a decade ago when they went through 4 kickers and he was just glaring at him, trying to make him uncomfortable. And then even like the next year, he had a pretty good season. And Debo's in the meeting rooms, just glaring at him there too. I remember him saying to the fact that if you miss this kick, you're going to be washing my back in the shower. Not too many people can get away with that other than Debo.
Wow. Never heard that story.
Yeah, he's a guy that just absolutely loves intimidation. He'll intimidate you to make it. I think he got off on it, but
Mark, don't you have to be a top 5 Pittsburgh Steeler defensive player of all time? Don't you have they changed the rules for Mel Blount? Don't you? If you're not a Houston Texan, you're not a San Diego Charger. To be the Pittsburgh Steeler, you have to scare the shit out of people.
Yeah, but he's had. What's he have? 105 career sacks, 108 career sacks.
He's great.
That's where you're getting it at.
He's great, and he makes him. He really is. I'm not trying to knock him as a player. I just think the history, the way people think of him, it's like take it easy.
No, he's not going to be the guy who's going to knock you on your back. But although, he's almost pulled a page out of the old LT handbook. You ever see him punch that ball out? You don't see too many people doing it. TJ Watt, I'm talking about how he just rears back and thinks he's Mike Tyson and punches the ball out. LT had the old swipe of the quarterback to get the ball out, but TJ's not going to intimidate many people. That's where I don't think anybody's going to deny that. But they need to help him this year. Just going back to more of the football things, they line him up on one side and where he's at every single time. And they're talking about changing that this year and have him go different all over the place. So I don't know. We'll have to see what it is right now with those guys. But what's his name? TJ Watt. It's a little slow for me tonight. I'm past my bedtime. TJ Watt. They're going to have to move him around a little bit, I think. Just for the fact to get him free to be able to make his job a little bit simpler. And they talk about doing it, but they've been talked about doing it.
Mark, what's it like mechanics-wise? Because I can imagine, I know on the hockey side of defensemen talking about switching from left to right, and they're like, "Look, it's completely different. I can't."
Yeah.
Is that similar for a pass rusher
Yeah,
to flip
well,
over there? And
yeah, TJ never wanted to flip. I mean, but I think he's come to the realization right now that, when you get a huge tackle on you, a tight end chipping you, and here comes a running back triple chipping you here, that, it's time to start doing some things a little bit differently. If you recall, what was that, a couple of years, more than a couple of years, when Bud Dupree, they flipped him from one side to another just because TJ wanted to play more. They made some kind of crazy excuse. They wanted TJ or Bud to play more on the right side, something crazy like that. But I think the older he's gotten, he realizes that they're making his job a lot harder. So it is not something he would prefer to do. I mean, but I think he's come to even late last year, he's even admitted, yeah, I think we need to do this. But they've been talking about this for years now. Then you have 4 plays a season where he does flip around, or if he plays that rover position. It's the question now is if they're going to stick to it. I don't know.
All right. Mark, the TJ Watt talk was fun, but I have to say we've gone 16 minutes and we haven't mentioned Aaron Rodgers' name.
How about that?
So when training camp starts tomorrow, I have to think not only in terms of the Steelers, but in terms of the NFL in general, has to be one of the top stories. Number one, just because it's Rodgers. And with all due respect to the Jets, this is the Pittsburgh Steelers now. This is a higher profile team. This is Aaron Rodgers. What do you think he has left? I ask because we know of his age. We know of his injury history with the Achilles, which you know all about, of course. But Rodgers, like in the last 10 games last year, statistically, he was pretty good.
Yeah.
Are the Steelers banking on him being that guy?
I don't think they want him to be the Aaron Rodgers, or they don't believe he's the Aaron Rodgers of the 4 MVPs. That's crazy to even think right now. So first of all, there's going to be a major amount of national folks coming to town here. And something tells me that I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be making a lot of time for a lot of these guys. But, I mean, first day he was here for mini camp, it was just, I was like, who are these people? They're just coming from everywhere. But I think what he's able to do is, and I think why he seemed like that he was only here for 3 days, mandatory mini camp. He seemed relaxed. He seemed like he was enjoying himself, because I think for the first time in a while, not everything's on him. He's not expected to run the franchise, so to speak. He's not expected to say, go acquire Alan Lazard, go acquire this guy, go acquire this guy. He just has to go back and play quarterback right now. And his arm talent's unbelievable still. I mean, you'll notice in the preseason how quick of a release he has. He might need it now because the offensive line's, we'll see. But I don't think they're expecting him to come out and put up monster numbers. What he does is what he does best: get rid of the ball quickly. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's might have had 2 seasons where he's had double-digit interceptions. Keep doing the same thing, win the game. And what I think different about this Steeler team than maybe last year's team, I don't know if you agree, hit its ceiling. I mean, it wasn't going to go any further. You're lucky they got 10 wins, right? This team might end up winning 10 games, but I think it has a better chance to win 11, 12 games than it did last year. And I think that's how much potential they have, but it could crap the bed as well. So I think the ceiling's a lot higher on this team this year compared to last year, but Aaron Rodgers is definitely going to be the guy. I mean, we haven't seen much from him. I don't think we'll see much from him in the preseason.
How much work is he going to get on the blocking sled tomorrow?
That's funny. I guarantee that joke will be made about 1,800 times tomorrow.
Well, you heard it here first, Mark.
Credit Joe Bartnick, goddammit.
Here's the funny thing. Last year was the first year nobody decided to go to it because it's dumb. I mean, they put you in the corner. You can't see anything. You can't write anything. You can't videotape anything. You can't take any pictures. So we're all like, the hell with it. We're not going to this thing. And Russell Wilson tears his Achilles or tears his calves. So I'm guessing tomorrow about 4:00, there's going to be their share of people there watching. And something tells me that Aaron Rodgers won't be hitting the sled.
Speaking of hitting the sled, what do you think of his protection? Have they improved? Have the rookie guys, after a year under their belt, is he going to be able to play? I think if he can play at least 12 games, I think that's where the over-under is. And because Rudolph saved Christmas, and by that I mean the over-under, I'm not anti-Rudolph. I like this. What do you think how much is he going to withstand the season, Rodgers?
I mean, he hasn't. You look over his career; he hasn't missed a ton of games, not many at all. Even last year, other than obviously the Achilles injury on play number 2, but even last year, he was banged up a lot last year, and just not the Achilles still healing. He was banged up all over the place, and he still was able to play. I mean, he looked decent running the ball, but he is 41. I don't think they want him to, get out of the pocket and do stuff that, younger Russell Wilson would do or 24-year-old Roethlisberger can do. But it's you look at 2 things with this team. Well, actually 3 things. You're going to have to get good quarterback play. I mean, that's the NFL right now. You got to get this young offensive line up to speed. You got 4 of the 5 guys are either, second or third year guys. You look at Fatanu, he was their number 1 pick last year, supplanted Roger Jones, the starter, week 2, but then he gets hurt. So that has to come together, and I think the defensive line's a little bit of a question mark, even if you got Derek Harmon, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton. Keanu Benton pretty much flatlined last year.
Mm-hmm.
Harmon's a rookie. What are you going to – you can't expect a ton from him. He might give you a ton. And Cam Hayward's a stud, but he is 36. So
there's not much behind those 3, correct?
Yeah, and that's the problem. They got about 14 guys, Josh. I swear to God, you don't know one of them. I don't know one of them. Guys like Logan Lee and obviously, Loudermilk because he plays about 4 snaps a game. Guys they got from New England. Their 4th-round pick, Y.A. Black's a monster who can play the middle, but once again, a rookie. So I think there's a lot of let's throw 8 guys against the wall and see who sticks behind those starting 3. I think that's where they're at right now.
What do you think of the secondary? Because we can all say, that, I'm spacing his name right now. It's not even late for me. I just can't think right now.
You're joining me.
Yeah.
Brain.
My guy from Alabama via Miami, he's
Minka.
gone. Yeah, Minka, whatever you want to say, he wasn't coming with the big play. He still was a field general out there. And people always say, to get a secondary to all be on the same page takes a minute. Do you think these guys will all be on the same page by week 1, or it's going to take a minute?
How many times have they had communication errors have you heard of over the past couple of years? Oh, my goodness. Minka was, how can I put this nicely, a guy that people were going after last year, as in teammates. There was something going on, and it always seemed like he was involved in it. I don't know if he was trying to cover for somebody or whatnot, but that's another big key. Right now they got Juan Thornhill as your starting free safety. Say that again, Juan Thornhill. Maybe he was good 7 years ago. He stunk with Cleveland last year, and they didn't sign him until mid-April this year. So if you're looking for an addition, look for a free safety. They got $25 million in cap space. So if they're able to get a corner or a safety, but they got Darius Slay on the corner. They got Jalen Ramsey, and if he's getting paid $26 million, I think the Steelers don't have to pay him that much, but he's getting paid $26 million overall. And you got a guy is in his 3rd year. You're trying to see if he's going to be a guy that is going to be a future of your franchise in Joey Porter. You got some talent there, but where are they going to go? You can only play 2 cornerbacks. I don't think I don't think you want Jalen Ramsey playing the slot very much. I don't think you want him playing safety very much either. So that has to work out a little bit too of who's going in where.
Well, wouldn't it make sense then, Mark, to get another couple safeties, because most teams play 3 wide receivers most of the time anyway. So isn't it good to have 3 good cornerbacks?
Beanie Bishop from West Virginia last year, but there's a reason why he kept losing his job to Cam Sutton. I mean, he seemed to be always around the ball, but they were fluky type of interceptions. I don't think you can really count on that, but there's not a lot out there. That's probably why they're waiting. I mean, you got Justin Simmons is out there, but he's 30, 32, I believe. They're probably waiting till the end of when the cuts come. I think the cuts come at the end of August 20-something, if they're able to find somebody to hit the waiver wire. But even if you're hitting the waiver wire and somebody gets cut in August 26th, how good are they? You know, There's a reason why you're getting cut. So the best bet right now would probably be Justin Simmons. I mean, he's probably a 1-year, $10 million guy, I'm guessing, which they could use. And once again, they're sold on Juan Thornhill, but I don't know. I think they're just talking. I mean, you can't. Who can be sold on Juan Thornhill? Come on.
Do they have anybody behind him?
Well, yeah, like I call him Harmon Killebrew, Miles Killebrew.
Yeah, I mean he's good for special teams, but I don't know if I want him at free safety.
Yeah, they got a rookie. Their 7th round pick can play. They got an undrafted guy. I would tell you their names, but you wouldn't remember them after 2 seconds, anyways. And actually, I forget their names. So once again, you're looking at undrafted guys. You can't really go into a season thinking they're going to contribute. I mean,
Mark,
maybe midway through the season they will, but
Mark, here's a name I want to learn. I want to know. I want to love Caleb Johnson. Now, is he gonna replace Naj? Because to get to kind of cross. We always say Flower, played 60 games and 140. Naj had his detractors, but Naj ran the ball hard and gained 1,000 yards every year. Can he fill those big shoes?
Hey, Josh, what do you think of Naj?
On a personal level, he strikes me as an asshole. And every time I tweet that, I get like all these weirdo Steelers fans like threatening my life. It's very bizarre. I always thought he had a very high opinion of himself. He's not a bad player. He was fine.
He's a very strange individual, but
I basically my opinion on him on what Mark tells me. By the way,
well, he's just a strange guy. I gave up after maybe midway through his rookie year. I'm like, there's just some. You know how it is, Josh. You go talk to guys, and after like a little bit, like, there's no use.
Right, that's right.
There's no use. I'm not going. I'm not even wasting my time over here right now. But he was a guy that carried the ball a lot. I mean, but they needed splash plays, and they didn't get splash plays out of him. I think Jaylen Warren will be your starter early in the season. I mean, first of all, Jaylen Warren. Last year, 2 years ago, we were all clamoring for him to be the starter, right? Now he's like, okay, maybe Caleb Johnson should be the starter. Jaylen Warren's a monster. I walked by him at mini camp. His legs are like tree trunks, man. I'm like, first thing I thought of, imagine him coming free like 10 yards down the field. There ain't no way in hell I'm tackling that son of a bitch. I'd get the hell out of the way. But I think Caleb Johnson's a guy who's is going to be able to take over maybe midway through the season. A guy that can do some bigger plays rather than, I think Najee had, what did he have? Close to 800-900 carries in his career, and he only had, his longest run was like 30 yards. I mean, he just
not a home run hitter.
No, he wasn't a home run hitter, and you need home run hitters. I mean, it's not rocket science. You'd much rather have one play that goes for 40 yards than 6 plays that go 40 yards, and you could screw up one of those 6 plays.
I agree. I mean, but no one got hit in the backfield, I think, in the history of the NFL. Najee Harris. I mean, he broke more tackles before he got to the line of scrimmage than anybody in the world.
Yeah, then the poor guy gets hit by a firework and whatever he happened to him. You heard about that, right?
Heard about that, yeah.
Oh, what happened?
something.
4th of July mishap, I believe.
Did he hit himself in the eye?
Yeah, he's something happened. Something strange. I found it interesting that he was talking crap on the Steelers after he left. This is an organization, the Chargers. Then they, 2 weeks later, they get drafted in the first round. It's like, nope. Hey, don't forget a guy like Kenny Gainwell, too. They're high on him. He's a third down scat back type of guy who's going to be
Saquon's old backup.
Yeah, so he's. I wouldn't expect him to put up fantasy football numbers, but they like him for some reason. He can make some decent plays on third down. So he's a guy that we seem to forget about. I mean, we're all forgetting about the big guy, Mr. 6'4", 250 DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
I don't know how much he has. I mean,
how much juice does he have left?
But he
better have a lot.
You've never seen a guy. I mean, the guy is just a monster. And he apparently his daily intake are a couple bag of Skittles. I'm like,
that's it.
I wish
it's like me. Why don't I look like that? I don't know.
Maybe genetics. Maybe Papio or
maybe weightlifting. I mean, DK. Obviously, I think everybody's excited to see DK Mark. But so much of the talk, just like last year, will be, who's the other guy, who's wide receiver too. Obviously they have some options, and in the slot, these are both big Michigan guys, by the way, so they're big Roman Wilson guys. But he strikes me as more of a slot guy than an outside guy. Like, is it Calvin Austin? Like, what, Robert Woods? What are we expecting here?
I'm a huge Calvin Austin fan. I think he's going to have a really good season. Roman Wilson looked really good in football and shorts. He's a different guy. Last year he came in, what I was told. I mean, he's coming from me now. A little out of shape. Not really good football shape for the pros, maybe good college shape. And then he got hurt, couldn't get on the field. They're not 100%. They have a lot of faith in him, but they need to see it first with Roman Wilson. He could be the guy. I like Calvin Austin. Robert Woods is the second coming of Allen Robinson and Van Jefferson in my eyes, right? So you're looking at Austin. You're looking at Roman Wilson. You want to throw Ben Skoranek in there or Scotty Miller? No. I don't think – honestly, I mean, I guess that there's a couple free agent receivers out there, but in Amari Cooper, Keenan Allen, but –
at this point, I don't know if those are guys I really want. Is there anyone that via trades or anything like that? I mean, we're not going through the whole Brandon Ayuk thing again.
Well,
but
once again, if you look at Jawan Jennings in San Francisco, he showed up today. He was talking all this junk about wanting a new contract. He showed up, and the coach said no. He never requested a trade. Then you got Terry McLaurin in Washington. Decided to not show up today. That's very interesting, but wow. I don't think they would want to go there because they'd have to give up draft picks. And one thing they've been able to do during this whole rebuilding process of winning now is they got a dozen draft picks next year. They got a first, a second, I think 3 or 4 threes. They haven't touched much of anything. They just accrued a ton of draft picks from next year. So the key, what they want to do is build the team out before they can somehow get a quarterback. So sort of like the Penguins. The Penguins are trying to play
is the GM of the Steelers, acquiring a bunch of draft picks and not worrying about winning. Hey,
the Penguins are the same though, aren't they? They're trying to win and trying to build for the future.
Thanks for listening.
That murky middle,
Mark.
It's hard.
No, I want to add I think my big question is, it's not even, obviously the consternation and the headache of not winning a playoff game has gotten to everybody. But I think the fact that since Big Ben has left, the offensive ingenuity has been putrid. And I think the biggest, my joy of having Aaron Rodgers, who I've met a couple times and is a good guy, is that he can come in here and actually change the offense. And it won't be we're going to run on 2nd and 9. And it's not going to be we're going to throw the ball 4 yards on 3rd and 8. Like, are they going to let Rodgers be a quarterback, or are we going to be still stuck in 1935?
Those uniforms they just unveiled look like 1935. But well, the Penguins have some throwbacks here. Like one thing about Aaron Rodgers, he got a little offended by that in his press conference last month about taking over the offense.
He needs to.
But he says, I've never been that guy. I don't know why people think that I'm a guy. I'm a guy that works within the offense set in front of me here, and I don't know where this comes from at all. He's not going to go out on his own according to what he's able to say. But you're looking at, 3 years of Matt Canada? I think one of us can probably be a better coordinator than that since Ben was gone. Maybe Fichtner was there 1 year. Then they had that crazy-ass what was it? Mike Sullivan and Eddie Faulkner as the co-offensive coordinators. It's not like they had the cream of the crop there in being able to design offense. I still think Arthur Smith has the talent. He couldn't do what he wanted to do last year. He was limited with the offensive line. He was limited with the running back. That really they wanted to run that outside zone, that outside one cut. Couldn't do that with Najee. And the quarterback limited him a little bit there. So I'm willing to give Arthur Smith a benefit of the doubt here before allowing Aaron Rodgers to take over. But I would not be surprised if Aaron Rodgers needs to sit in that room and say, no, I do need to have this play, this play, this play, and this play. I just don't know if he's going to just do the Ben Roethlisberger fourth quarter and saying, the hell with Canada, I'm just going to go wing it. I don't see that happening.
I hope he does.
That's when they were good that year.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable, Roethlisberger. Was that his final year or second to final year?
Yeah.
He just said, the hell with whatever they're calling. I'm just doing what I'm doing.
I always thought, I hate to have legends become coaches. We've talked about that on this show with hockey, but I think Ben would be a hell of an offensive coordinator, at least in the pass game.
The problem with that is he's probably worth about $300 million, right?
Yeah. How are you going to get him off the couch?
He wouldn't even come in and work when he was getting paid that money. Now he's getting paid a couple $100,000 to put in about 150-hour work weeks. He's happy it's Wickley.
It just seems like anybody can be a better coordinator than what they've had the last. Even when Ben was playing, it was like Ben had to just be his own man by the fourth quarter. Yeah. It was like the Denver Broncos when they had Dan Reeves, when the only guy that could keep Elway back was Reeves, because then in the fourth quarter, Elway would take over.
Yeah, it's very similar whatsoever. You look at the history of the Steelers' offensive coordinators, and Haley was good. Once again, we ripped on Todd Haley relentlessly until he's gone, and we're like, you know what? That guy wasn't that bad. He's probably the best coordinator they've had in the past 15 years.
I thought he was really good.
Yeah, but not at the time.
Oh.
Why do you think of the criticism that Tomlin's, coaching tree is a shrub? As opposed to Knowles or, Bill Walsh's or Bill Parcells, or I know I'm naming Mount Rushmore here, but the fact that really no one has gone on to glory except the guy they fake retired.
Yeah. A lot of times he was hiring some older gentlemen. He wanted more of the experienced guys. It was basically the old guy and the real young guy. There was no in-between guys that could go and be that guy that can go, make that shrub into at least a lilac bush or something like that. Right? So I think that was part of it right now. And there's nobody really that you even look on this roster that looks like a guy that's going to be, go get a job somewhere else. But I do have issues with the thought of having a coaching tree. Where's this coaching tree actually start at? Does it start the first time they join a pro staff, or is it when he comes back? Is Bruce Arians a part of that tree? Yeah, it's so hard to determine. I think that's just one of those talking points that seems to annoy me when someone, no offense, Joe, but when somebody normally says that to me, I'm like, we're going to talk about this coaching tree now. Sounds like you should be working for the Fan.
Yeah.
I-
Along those lines-
I'm under contract with the other side of the street.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
Oh, you know what, Joe? They were asking, "Hey, is Joey under contract?" Like, yeah, but I'm sure if you give him a call, maybe.
Trust me, I got plenty of DMs from their talent in the last month wanting me to come on the air.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I know how that works.
throw an offer out there, maybe.
And speaking of Tomlin, Mark, I'm not going to ask you if there's pressure on him because there obviously is not. We know, I mean, there's not. But in terms of his legacy, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And he's got a Super Bowl. He's been there twice. He's got his 500 season thing. I'm not knocking him, but in terms of, I think he's overrated in some circles, but I don't think he's some terrible coach. But in terms of his legacy, like, seriously, he needs to win a playoff game soon, does he not? Or doesn't that change things if he doesn't?
I think he needs to win a playoff game because I think Art Rooney is getting fed up, but he's not getting fed up to the point of getting rid of the head coach. I don't know if he looks at it like that. I mean, okay, let's play the hypothetically. Okay, they win a playoff game this year, so everything's just a race for the past 10 years. All of a sudden, it's good because they won one playoff game. Then we switch to, oh well, at least they've only won one playoff game in the past 8 years. So I mean, you can make that argument anywhere you want. The bottom line is Tomlin. He's a guy who does what he does very well. He motivates guys, and he has a ton of passion still for the game. His issue has been identifying coaching staff that can take these guys to a different level. You talk about, well, Mike Tomlin's never been able to, develop a quarterback. I mean, it's not Mike Tomlin that should be doing it. It should be Mike Tomlin to hire somebody that was able to develop a quarterback right now. But you're right. Mike Tomlin's the head coach of this team until Mike Tomlin does not want to be the head coach of this team.
It's almost like the Cowers guys. Everybody said, oh, he won with Cowers guys when we thought the players, but maybe it was the coaches, because he came in and he kind of had a pretty set, established
that's what Mark's talking about.
Did Cowers win with Noel's team?
Well, I will say this. He hired on his first coaching staff, he had Dick LeBeau, Dom Capers, and Marvin Lewis on his defensive staff. Bill Cowher knew how to hire assistants.
Well, who else knew how to hire assistants was Art Rooney, because when Mike Tomlin came in, he says, you're keeping Arians, you're keeping LeBeau.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. I just I love Mike Tomlin in some cases. I mean, like every Yinzer, but other times I'll go for, I just don't want to get embarrassed in a playoff game. I mean, how long has it been since we've had a playoff game that wasn't over by the end of the first quarter?
Not only that, how they lost too. I mean, speaking of the ultimate Yinzer, I don't recall, I probably just ignored you, but you probably went absolutely apeshit last year when they just ran the ball right down their throats in Baltimore.
I was somber. I just didn't talk to anybody for the next 24 hours. I can live with the Steelers losing. I can't live with them getting punched in the mouths.
They ran the ball 50 times for 299 yards.
Completely embarrassing. And I hold all of them accountable. I don't care if Cam Hayward's the greatest guy on earth. He can do his little podcast and talk shit. Like, he got punched in the mouth all game, Cam. I love you, but he was the whole team.
He did have 10 tackles that game, though.
Yeah, all of them were like 20 yards downfield. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, I guess. And that, by the way, Corey, Mark, Joe, that's another problem for the Steelers, even though I think we all agree they have talent. They're an interesting team this season. Like, this division's a nightmare, Mark. I mean, Cleveland stinks, but and Baltimore might be, I don't know, the most talented team in the league, maybe other than Philly. Cincinnati's going to score 35 points a game. Like, it's pretty scary.
You can give up 45, right?
Right. But still, it's they've got their work cut out for them in this division, do they not?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big Bengals believer. I know they got Higgins and Chase and Burrow and Gesicki, that running back that was rookie last year, are good. Their offensive line's awful. Their defense, I couldn't even tell you who was on their defense right now. They just keep dumping them. Hendrickson didn't show up today. He's probably not going to show up. They dumped their inside linebacker as well. They got rid of Mike Hilton. I don't know. This is going to be an interesting case right here of the Bengals. Are you going to be able to
That's the
outscore?
over.
Are you going to outscore? And once again, the Bengals last year, what were they? 9-7? Maybe they won 10 games. I don't know. Joe Burrow had to play like his best football of his career every single game just to get to that point. Who says that's going to happen again? So I'm not too sold on the Bengals.
All right.
The Browns, forget about it.
Right.
I'll give you $1 if you name who their running back is. He's in
You think
jail.
Kenny
maybe,
Pickett
right?
makes the team?
I think he's in jail, didn't he?
Yeah, I thought two Michigan guys would know that the Ohio State guy's in jail from Cleveland.
Did he get an illegal tattoo? Or was he betting on games like Schleister?
What did he do? I don't even know if he.
I believe he beat up a
Somebody.
lady or something along those lines.
Terrell, just think about that now. Terrell Pryor got suspended for having a tattoo. These guys are getting paid $8 million a year now in college.
Yeah,
He got a tattoo.
He came along 10 years too early.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. But
Yeah,
the Ravens are pretty scary on paper, Mark. I mean, they might be the favorite to win the whole thing, aren't they? I mean, I have to think they're in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry doesn't look like he's slowing down anytime soon, right?
No.
He's like a different breed. And they got two good tight ends. They've upgraded their defensive coaching staff.
Huh, wonder what that's like.
Hey, well, they brought in old Chuck Pagano from Indianapolis just to be a secondary coach. How about that?
Love that.
Wow.
I mean, that's you think he can add something to the squad? Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, if I'm guessing right now, I would probably put them as a odds-on favorite to win the AFC, even over Buffalo. I think Buffalo's still limited. If it's not Joe Burrow, it's nothing. And I think Cook's holding out right now. I'm sure he'll be back as well. I think Kansas City's best days are over. I think, as my favorite saying goes in San Diego, in LA Chargers, the hell has Justin Herbert ever won? Nothing.
Oh, he gets put on so many people's Mount Rushmores and like top player lists.
And all of a sudden, the sexy pick is the Denver Broncos. Bo Nix ain't that good.
Well, Mark, what record do you think the Steelers are going to have, and where in the division 1, 2, 3, or 4 are they going to finish? We'll get you out of here, so get your rest for Latrobe. You're going to be doing 2-a-days starting tomorrow.
Yeah, 2-a-days have been gone by about 15 years now. The CBA is like,
how many days of underwear are they in until they actually hit somebody?
4 acclimation period. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, off Monday. Then they can put the pads on Tuesday of next week. So they'll be nice and acclimated by then.
Nice. What do
can
you
I
think they're going to do this year?
Can I just say 8-1? Because isn't that the thing to do? I think they can win 10 games. And they'll be right on that border of making the playoffs or not. Once they get in there, I think they'll have as good a chance as anybody at least to win a game. But I like what they did. I like their roster. I think their roster is a lot better than it was last year. But, when you're that close with these other teams, you have to have a lot of breaks go your way. So, I mean, you have one bad break go your way, all of a sudden you only win 9 games and you're a 10 seed instead. So they'll be better, but I don't know if it'll be as much better to even compete with the Ravens. They'll compete with the Ravens because they always do, but not come playoff time. So
Mark Kaboly picks the Steelers to win the Super Bowl. You heard it here first. That's what every Yinzer's going to
I don't even know where the Super Bowl is this year. New Orleans?
I think so, maybe.
I used to look that stuff up.
Mark Kaboly once woke up on Bourbon Street, completely drunk and disoriented the night before the game. 2002.
Had no clue in the world where my hotel was.
Was this for a Super Bowl?
And this was 2002. They played down there.
The Deuce McAllister game, as I like to call it.
Oh, Kaboly pulled a Stanley Steamer. Woke up on Tuesday. The whole game.
It was not good. And if I didn't see a guy, Dell Lawley, I would still be lost in the street there somewhere. I hate New Orleans. I liked it at 02. We went back a couple of years. Every year it got worse and worse and worse. I'm like, I'm done.
Well, before you go, Mark, I do want to ask you your thoughts on the Penguins. How do they look?
They're probably tired, right?
There it is.
Honestly, I don't know if I can use that anymore because they've been absolutely vacationing for a good couple seasons now, right?
Right. Your line might be washed up. I don't know.
I'll still
Always
use
pisses people off on Twitter every time.
That's the whole point. I'll continue to use it until people realize it's just being a dick, right? I mean, people just don't understand it.
I know.
It's just like the Pirates too. I'm up with just the old /Buccos.
We will have no pirate talk, Mark. We will have
Buccos or
let you go now.
This is for professional franchises only. This podcast.
Buccos. They even win today.
Yeah.
Did they? Is that 2 in a row?
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
best
you know
team
what?
in the league.
Donnie Kelly, probably manager of the year now.
Johnny Ball. Yeah.
I have no idea if this is really a real stat, but it was one of those websites put it out, and they said that if Paul Skeens had average run support, MLB average during his career, he'd be 44-1.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he's got like a sub-2 ERA. I mean, I know we don't talk Pirates, Joe, but like he's literally in the history of
candy and nuts. It would be Christmas every day.
But it's unbelievable. It's the weirdest thing to watch. I almost feel like it's like if the Bengals are what the Pirates would be if there was a salary cap in the NFL or in the MLB, like where it's like an organization that like occasionally gets the guy like Joe Burrow, but just can't figure it out.
Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
there's nothing like the Pittsburgh Pirates. They can't hand out a freaking bobblehead.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you're going to do a bobblehead, don't you just make enough for everybody? I mean, what is this 20,000 crap when you know darn well that 37,000 people were there to get the Mac Miller bobblehead?
You just learned that in grade.
Which is a little weird, by the way.
Don't bring enough if you can't bring enough brownies for everybody at school, you don't bring enough. You don't bring brownies. That's just
right. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, another thing that pisses me off about the Pirates is these bobbleheads where you have to pay extra money just to get the bobblehead. You see that? The extra money for the tickets?
Really?
What the hell is that?
It was like a guaranteed bobblehead ticket?
No, it's like I think it was a weird one. It was like a Star Wars something or another. I'm like, oh, I wonder how much these are. And there was a special ticket you had to buy that was like $70 just to get this bobblehead.
That's called fraudulent ownership, is what that is.
You know what? Before I go here, this Nicholas guy in the comments said that he lived in Sacramento. Tell us what you think about the Sacramento game where in the playoffs, Joey.
I don't want to talk about it. See, he's just trying to piss me off now. As a Sacramento Kings fan, I give Shaq and Kobe like 50 free throws in the fourth quarter just to make sure, need them in the final.
Revving him up a little bit, right?
You're getting me worked up. Speaking of which, Mark, thank you for coming on. No, I don't believe in football in shorts, but I will be making my presence felt next Tuesday in Latrobe for the first day when they actually play football.
You should show up Wednesday when the Pat McAfee show's there.
Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I will now.
Yeah, they're showing up on Wednesday.
Oh, boy.
Josh is showing up with his terrible towel, though, right?
He needs autographs.
The only autographs on that are the men from the 70s. That's like Lambert and Russell and Ham on one. I don't touch that one.
Speaking to do Michigan.
You got to put TJ Watt on there. He's just as important. He's won as many Super Bowls.
Hey, speaking of two Michigan fans, Jack Sawyer is now my neighbor.
Oh, really?
State guy.
But he lives. Well, maybe he lives a half mile down the street here.
Can't have that.
We had a good conversation.
Oh,
yeah. He,
I wait till you have to make this commute to the South Side every morning, brother. You're not going like that.
The kick in the pants. So Will Howard, by the way, I hate to keep dragging you on, but Will Howard, what is this with this weird fascination? I mean, sure, he maybe will be a good quarterback. I don't know.
He's a nice guy. That's why.
But like, John Gruden says one thing about how great he is, and every Yinzer is just like, he's the next Tom Brady because he was drafted in the 6th round. Like,
Well, you look what people have noticed, what they've seen of Will Howard being an absolute stud in the college football playoffs for 4 games. That's what they know of him. Ohio State guy, bigger guy, nicest guy in the world. But if he's nothing more than a backup quarterback for life, that's not a bad career to have. I'm not expecting him to do much of anything this year at all. I mean, if he gets some preseason snaps, great, but I tell you, you're not going to find a nicer guy, right? Great human, Josh. Great human. So that's probably one of the reasons why he is a really good guy. But they see Ohio State, they see how much success he had there, and he did have 3 or 4 playoff games where he just looked unbelievable. So,
but wouldn't you say he had a better offensive line and better wide receivers? Probably higher paid.
Wait a second. This is coming from a Michigan fan. I thought that's all you guys did was pay guys.
Yeah, that's basketball.
No, I thought you
hockey. That's why Harbaugh left. That's fine.
Yeah.
Is Howard still the basketball coach? Is he still punching people out?
No, he's gone.
No, you're going to be covering him in the WWE. Fab 4, the steel cage.
I would never, Jack Sawyer. I think I'd have to, if I ever was going to meet him in person, I'd have to go through and delete some tweets about after that Michigan game. Something with going 0-4 against Michigan. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you don't want them to plant the flag in the middle of your field. Just beat them.
Jack Sawyer would be like a perfect guy. That would be the guy you use. You know how the NBA logo is. What was his name?
Jerry West.
Jerry West.
I'm firing out, Mark.
If NFL had a logo, it would be Jack Sawyer. I mean, he's a cop. He looks like a steel. He looks like a guy that would be working in the steel mill.
That's awesome.
Not Rudy.
Not Sean Astin.
Thank God.
He's from the Goonies, right?
Yeah.
The Goonies to Rudy.
Oh, if you love the movie Rudy, do not look up the true story.
You ever hear Montana? Montana's like, this guy's a piece of garbage.
I know, it's so sad.
And Josh would know because Joe Montana beat up his dad one time.
True story.
Oh,
My dad
really?
went to Ringgold with Joe Montana, and they were in the choir together. And my dad made some comment to him like, "Hey, nice interception on Friday night." And Montana turned around and punched him right in the nuts. Story of my dad's life. Yeah.
Oh my. Oh well.
Is that why you came out a little crazy?
You can do a whole show on his old man.
Oh,
how he used to call up and prank us at the Daily News all the time. Pretending like he was a coach, Coach Bobo. We'd be like, "Oh no, he's calling again. You answer. No, you answer."
Oh my. Well, Mark.
Seriously, Mark, thanks for joining us.
We appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll talk to you at some point during the Steelers season. But good luck up at camp. What's your favorite spot? Where are you going to hit tomorrow night?
My favorite spot's Route 30 back home when it's all over. Which I've gotten numerous tickets on my way back from.
Oh yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's a brutal.
Dino's. Maybe I'll go to that Dino's where Jay Leno fell down the hill.
Yeah, the non-existent one.
There's hills there. I can't do it, Jay Leno. I think they closed that Dino's actually, so it's going to have to be the original one. You fall down a hill to get wings. You're worth $200 billion.
Sounds like you met with a bookie.
I heard it was something else. Maybe not a bookie.
Yeah.
There's West Portland County people.
Yeah. Well, Mark, we'll let you go, but we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Mark.
See you, Mark.
Maybe Bill Neofa should have a hill insurance.
Yeah,
maybe.
So Leno.
Maybe he should.
I mean, I've never seen somebody look that bad after rolling down a hill.
No, it's not good.
No. But
Big hell.
if anyone's going to insure it, it's going to be Bill in the office.
It is. And we're an hour deep into the show. That was some intense football talk there with Mark Kaboly. We thank Mark for coming on. And we always thank our good friend Bill in the office for continuing to sponsor the show. You hear me say it every week. And by the way, people are actually calling up Bill's show who are listening to us now. We're getting the word from Bill, like, you got listeners starting to call in. I'm like, good, we talk about you enough, and for good reason. So I'm glad all you viewers and listeners out there are finally catching on. Yes, Bill in the office. Indeed, this is the best insurance man in Pittsburgh. It's not even close. For those who don't know, it's neofficeinsurance.com. The phone number 412-364-3388. Doesn't matter what your insurance needs are. They literally take care of everything. They do it at a very fair price. They'll talk you through everything, whatever you need. So Neoffice Insurance, give our man Bill a call. You can talk some hockey with him. You can talk football. And if necessary, talk insurance too. That is his day job after all.
Oh, thank you, Bill.
Thank
It
you,
was
Bill.
funny. I even put in my notes. I thank Bill before we start. But Kaboly's came out of the house of fire.
Yeah.
You
ripping on Yoey before Yoey got on.
Unbelievable. Some things never change.
I mean, like that's what I had to bring up the pictures because it was unbelievable. Like I hadn't texted Kaboly in like 3 months, and I saw that picture. I'm like, I'm gonna send it to him, and within like 10 seconds, boom, just this library of photos.
Oh, he has a picture of me doing yard work, for God's sake. It's unbelievable. It's.
I didn't even think those existed.
His obsession with embarrassing photos of me knows no bounds. That is for sure.
That's phenomenal. Well, so Josh, since we did the last show, a little bit of big news. Talk about burying the lead here. So Mario Lemieux definitely wants to come back. That's what you're hearing? Your article in The Athletic stated as such, that sources are telling you this. I think every Yinzer in, to me, or going back to like thinking of like 2001, with or 2000, whenever he came back and all that. What are you hearing? And do you see this coming together?
It's one of the strangest stories I've ever been involved in. This broke back in June during the Stanley Cup final. My colleague at The Athletic, Pierre LeBrun, wrote that. I think it was a tweet, first of all, that he sent out that kind of set Pittsburgh ablaze when it was, hey, Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle and David Morehouse want to own the Penguins again. That was music to everyone's ears. And yet at the same time, it didn't really make sense. Mario got his money a couple of years ago. From everything we hear, Mario's enjoying his life. He's playing with his grandkids now. He's a grandfather, and he's, playing golf in Florida when he feels like it. And everything I had heard, he's happy, he's content. And, now all this talk, and I wrote something about it last week, people I really trust who are very close to the big guy saying like, yeah, this is legitimate. They really want back in. And I actually said to this person, I said, why? Like, why is Mario interested? And I was told a lot of things that, he misses being around the team. He wants to see the team do better. He wants to take care of the season ticket holders like he always did. And then the final comment, 3 words: Mario is bored. I thought, well, and he has a history of that. He does. He retired in '97. Yeah, he owned the team again, but a couple years later, he got bored. He wanted to play again. Like, I think that is a part of his personality. The real question is, well, I guess there are 2 questions. Do Mario and Burkle have the financial resources to make this happen? I understand Ron's a billionaire, but it's going to cost probably $1.5 billion to pull this off. I would think that's no small chunk of change even for him. And the bigger question, does Fenway really want to sell? Because we know Fenway has come out and said we would like a minority owner to join us. And my sense is Mario and his people, they think that's code language for, yeah, we're losing money. We're willing to sell. And I think that's what they're banking on. So I don't think any actual offer has been made. I don't know how much communication there's even been yet. But this is a real thing. This is something that is legitimately being discussed. And then I know Penguins fans, it's what they want probably more than just about anything, to have him back running The show, as unlikely as that still may seem, if it did happen, if it did work out that way, I know everybody would be happy.
Now, sources are telling me that the not the holdup or Mario and Mr. Burkle did not want anything to do with the real estate next door. And that it was not as much boredom as much as just, the Hill District Committee and every other political BS red tape was making, the site where the arena used to be, it was supposed to be skyscrapers and whatever else they were supposed to do. And it kind of gave Mr. Burkle a headache.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of why they're like, you know what? We won our cups. Sid and Gina are getting older. Mary can go back to golfing and Ron can enjoy being a billionaire. And it was fun. But it seems like if Fenway is taking care of that, then Mr. Burkle and Mr. Lemieux can just buy the Penguins. Now, I've just heard that secondhand from real estate people who know the real estate business in downtown. I was actually trying to text you that, Josh, but you were busy this week. I said, give me a call, but I know you.
I forgot to call you back. I'm such a
some family issues. Yeah, because I was going to say, use your investigative skills. But I heard that is the crux of it. And now, of course, because then Fenway gets their money from selling from, all that development is worth billions to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Mario and Burkle's used to running Ralph's and selling milk, and Mario's Mario. So if they can handle that, then they just get rid of the team and they'll make their money doing the real estate and the 60.
Joe muted himself.
Right in the middle of a good point.
Well, I will say this, Joe. Joe, you're still muted, by the way.
How about now?
You're good. No, and I believe it, and it's plausible. I can tell you over the years, having written about it and having been around it, Mario, Burkle, David Morehouse, Kevin Ackland, going back to Ken Sawyer, dealing with the city of Pittsburgh and the Hill District absolutely drove them crazy. I know it did. And to this day, that arena's been there 15 years now, and it's still in great shape. It's still one of the best arenas in the league, but the whole area around the arena sucks, and everybody knows it. It's we're supposed to have all these bars and restaurants and you name it, and it's a great area for entertainment pre and post game, and it's not. It's a real problem. It's one of the reasons they're having trouble selling tickets right now. There's just nobody down there on a Tuesday night in November unless there's a hockey game, and it's hard to get people to come down otherwise. So no, that makes sense. That's been an ongoing issue for so long. But I say this all the time, guys. I hear from season ticket holders a lot, and very few of them would complain about Mike Sullivan. Very few would complain about Kyle Dubas. They'd complain about Ron Hextall, of course, but very few of them complain about the players. Every single one of them says, I just want Mario back. I want Mario. I liked when Mario was in charge. He treated the season ticket holders differently, and we felt comfortable. We knew that he would do what was best. And maybe that's not completely fair to the Fenway people. I don't know that they've done anything wrong. But Mario is synonymous with Pittsburgh, like no athlete maybe in the history of North American sports. I mean, really, who is more synonymous with an organization than him? So that this Penguins fans need something to feel good about right now. And if this does start to materialize, man, what an incredible story it would be.
Yeah, I mean, just the only thing remotely, or the other thing in the same ballpark is Al Davis and the Raiders. But it's not like Al Davis was Jim Brown.
Yeah.
I mean, Al Davis didn't play a snap for the Raiders, whereas Mario is one of the three best. We're not going to debate this again, but arguably one of the three best hockey players ever. Like, that's not debatable.
Yeah.
So
I just like it. I always, it's weird, but the amount of time I spend at the arena, like, you really do feel like it's nice to be able to sit there and you look up and go, oh, hey, the big guy's up there. What do you know? But it's weird. The interesting thing to me, and I remember thinking this even as a younger kid, whenever he was buying the Penguins, I know it was a good business decision for him, but like, he went through a lot to get to that point, it wasn't easy. Like, getting to the arena, when he got the arena deal finalized, and came out and like he's had to deal with a bunch of crap. It hasn't been like, just smooth sailing and sitting back drinking wine.
No.
So
No,
he loves this organization, and like you can tell that he's all in on it. Like he wants this, and I feel like the losing has got to be hurting him too.
Sure. No, I mean, it's his whole legacy is with the Penguins. He wants that preserved, and I've heard from people like it's not pleasant for him watching the last few years, and I know, given how close he is with Sid, he doesn't want Sid to go out on a team like this. I mean, of course he doesn't. And if he were running the show, he would have a lot of power in that regard. Even though he was certainly a hands-off owner, but when he needed to say something, he would say it. I don't know. I just think it's a really interesting situation. We will see how much it materializes. Ultimately, it's up to Fenway. If they don't want to sell, they're not going to sell. It's the same thing with the Pirates. Like everyone wants Bob Nutting to sell the team. So do I. But if he doesn't want to, there's no public pressure.
Well, now that is a good question. Is the animosity between those two sides? Because, is it, even if Burkle, who has, other than the Sultans and the computer nerds, of all the people who started out just a regular human being, Booker has more money than anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure he does.
Would they just, he can give the highest bid. Would they just like, no, we don't like you. We didn't like what happened last time, and just not sell it to him anyway? I mean, because it's their team. It's like you in a garage sale. If you don't want to sell your old couch to that guy, you don't have to.
Could be. I mean, listen, there's some bad blood between Mario and Burkle and Fenway. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
And it's never been reported thoroughly. It's more like, stuff we kind of hear that we can't always write, but everybody knows it. And there was a holdup, and Mario, getting paid by Fenway when the sale went through, and lawyers had to get involved. And, I think everything's okay. I don't think there's a huge amount of animosity at this point, but it was still pretty icy. Mario hardly ever shows up for games anymore, and that's why. I mean, let's be honest. We all know that's why.
Josh, he's only been on camera once.
Yeah.
And that was Jogger Day.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's
that's all you need to know.
I mean, yeah, Mario's a really private guy, but yeah, there were some issues there. There's no doubt about that. But listen, if the thing about Fenway, though, I suspect if Burkle and Mario get together and they can put together a number that's big enough, like Fenway, they're business people first and foremost. Okay. And I don't think they've done anything wrong with the Penguins. I don't really have a problem with them, but there's a very corporate feel to them. They treat the Penguins like they're a business. Whereas when Mario was running the show, and I can speak on this, I'm not in the organization, but I'm there every day. Like when Mario was running the show, there was just more of a family atmosphere there. And all the employees were a little happier. And you could, it was obvious. It was, it trickled down throughout everyone in the organization. I don't know that Fenway's done anything wrong, but there was a different feel then. And I know a lot of people in the organization would love it if Mario was in charge again. And these are business people. If they make a big enough of an offer, maybe it happens. I don't know that they're necessarily, infatuated with being owners of the Penguins forever. But I don't know. I never saw this coming. That this is quite a story, but it's not. I assure you, I've seen some people say, it's just a rumor. Like, no, Pierre LeBrun doesn't make up rumors, first of all. And I've spoken with enough people like that. There's something really here.
Well, it reminds me of if you're familiar with The Wedding, what's it called? Steve Martin, Father of the Bride, Part 2, when he sells his house. And then, within a week, he decides he wants it back, but he has to buy it for double the price. People don't do that unless they are serious about it. And
what do you think of the NHL? They're gonna get whatever $2 billion for Atlanta.
Well,
and do Mario and Burkle just say, okay, well, we'll give you the money? I mean, can you just make a deal? Say, well, we'll split that when it comes. I mean, that seems to be a huge holdup, because even if they only sell 10,000 seats the next 3 years, whatever the cut of that is going to be a lot of money.
Well, and that's why some people have told me, Mario and Burkle would potentially be willing to really overpay just because they know that money's coming with the expansion teams. Now, of course, if you're Fenway, you also know that money's coming. So maybe you just want to stick around and enjoy that money too. But yeah, I mean, listen, expansion's coming. There's going to be 2 teams. We know that's probably Atlanta and Houston, it sounds like. Regardless of what 2 teams they are, all the owners in the NHL are going to be a hell of a lot more wealthy than they already are in a couple of years. That's absolute fact.
Why? This is getting off on a side tangent, but we haven't talked about the expansion much. Why are they doing it? Like we talked about it all year on this podcast, where goaltenders are like quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, there's how many actual starting goaltenders?
You know what though, Corey? I think I'm going to make 2 quick, not one quick point and one longer point. They're doing it because they're asking for $2 billion of franchise.
That's why.
Now, the longer point and a very important point. Yeah, there's not 42 good goaltenders or 36, and there's not 20. But you know what? I don't care. I don't come to see good goaltending. I actually don't like a shutout. I want to see 5-4 games. Like, bad goaltending doesn't really. It's like it only leads to fun hockey in expansion cities. It's not like bad quarterbacking leads to me jumping off a bridge. It leads to me watching all day Saturday and only the Steelers on Sunday. But a bad goal, when the Sharks and the Ducks got 2 bad goaltenders, well, it's 6-5. Look at this.
Yeah,
it's a really good point. And I will say 2 things about that. Number one, we're talking billions of dollars funneling into the league. That's why. Ultimately, of course, that's why. But also, if you look at the last 2 expansion teams, Seattle and Vegas, they have both been financial successes. Vegas, if you go to a game in Vegas, you understand that whole city is in love with that team. That they don't have any trouble selling tickets. They're making a ton of money there. And even though the Kraken kind of suck, that place is sold out every night. Seattle's a really good sports town. They're making a lot of money there. So the NHL, I think, has kind of thought, boy, we've got this expansion thing figured out a little bit. And now we're going to go to maybe Houston, like the 4th biggest city in the country. That can't go wrong. And maybe we'll figure Atlanta out now. So it's financially driven. It's not great for quality of play, really. But I get it from a financial standpoint. Of course, it makes sense.
Maybe Mario wants to come back and play against these expansion teams. And they're licking his chops thinking.
At least Jogger.
Yeah, Yager could get a couple. He could get to 2,000 points if he
put him on the power play.
Yeah.
He could play in Houston.
He's got another jersey to add to that group.
Yeah, I was saying there'll be another guy down there in the Houston have to all realign.
Yeah. So I mean, but you're hearing from enough people. Like, have you heard from anyone in the organization, Josh? Because I know you've talked on that side, but like anyone on the organization, because FSG came out and said, we're not interested in selling, blah, blah, blah. Is there any kind of like commotion on the inside? Like, this could happen.
Not really. What's interesting is nobody's really speaking about it, even internally. And nobody on Mario's side is talking about it or denying anything or confirming anything. Like, everyone's just being very quiet about it. And I think we're far away from finding out any, solid information in terms of how close this could be. And again, I don't want to suggest that, everyone in the organization hates Fenway. I don't think that's true. But the fact is that they've laid off an awful lot of employees the last couple of years. And that wasn't COVID related. That was just, wanting to save some money. And it's not like they don't spend money elsewhere. Trust me, there are certain things they'll spend money on in the arena or in the organization, but then a lot of people lost their jobs last year. That didn't go over very well, but with a lot of people in the organization. And I've had more than one say, Mario wouldn't have let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That might be true. I don't know, but he was as beloved as Mario was as a player. And I think we can roundly agree that, probably he and Clemente are the 2 most beloved athletes in the history of the city. I'm telling you, he was just as beloved as an owner, not just by the fans, but by the people who were around him every day in terms of the way he treated people. They miss that. They really do. So when this story got out that there was even an inkling, a chance that this could happen, man, my phone lit up in a hurry with a lot of people, hoping maybe it was going to be a reality at some point.
Oh yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I'm sure your phone got busy real quick that day.
Oh yeah,
because I know I was one of the people that texted you and said, "For real? Oh my god, oh yeah."
oh no, hey, we all turn into little kids when 66 is around. I have interviewed more famous athletes and been around more famous athletes, and I'm pretty unfazed by it. The second he walks into the room, I'm gonna put my head down, like, oh shit, there's Mario. Like he's the only one. He has that presence about him that's just different than everyone else.
Oh yeah, I think I could have done like a Ricky Bobby thing where like I couldn't forgot to use my hands, like like because I mean with my business I've talked to a lot of people. I don't care, but then around him, the one time I did talk to him, I when I was like, huh. like I thought I was saying something, but I'm pretty sure I was not. But Joe, you've done comedy in front of him, so I mean that's like next level.
We've I mean, everyone knows that story. I've told it a billion times, but yeah, he's the big guy. He really. I did for his I did a thing for his benefit, and he loved the show. He loved me. He's the best. It's one of the 2 or 3 highlights of my comedy career. With all the Hockey Hall of Famers, including the big guy, love my set. And also I want to thank a lot of people donated in my father's name. This in lieu of flowers, we said give to Mario's Foundation, and a lot of people who me and my mother did not know who they were, so maybe they listen to this show or whoever they are. Thank you, and it all went to the good cause.
That's great.
So that's awesome. Yeah,
always support the big guy.
Oh yeah, and with the amount of time I've spent in Children's Hospital, seeing the Austin's playrooms and the sibling centers, all that kind of stuff, it's the big guy takes care of Pittsburgh like nobody else.
That's right.
And we cannot
come
thank him
back,
enough.
Ronnie. Just come back. Raise the price of milk. I don't give a damn. Buy the team. Buy the team. Ackland just started a whole new law firm. He'll quit. He'll come back.
Right.
Get the band back together.
Yeah. Let's do it. Well, hey, we went so long with Kaboly. I think we have some stuff. Do you want to save the CBA stuff for next week?
Yeah, might as well. We got another 6 weeks of summer programming or so, right?
Yeah, and let you guys know though. I didn't even tell you guys yet, but the one and only radio voice of the Penguins, Joe Brand, has confirmed he will come on the show. We just got to schedule a time, so you get
Joe Brand.
Yeah, he did a good job in that season. The ticket reveal, him and Michelle. I thought their acting chops were, they were up there for people that probably haven't acted much in their lives.
I will say, well, maybe we'll get to it next week, but I saw the vaunted Athletic TV ratings. Did you see that, Josh?
I didn't read it. I know they came out.
Wow.
What? Let's go for it.
About where the Penguins' power play was a couple years ago. Penguin television broadcast, they ranked second to last. Which I think is ridiculous because Josh Getzlaff, I watch everybody. Getzlaff is one of the top 3 or 4 play-by-play guys in hockey. I'm not even a homer.
No, I think he's really good. No, I do too. And I personally wish they would kind of just pick one color commentator. I don't love the whole rotating thing, but I also think those guys are all good.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking those guys at all, but just I don't care if they, I don't care if they had, Nick Nolte doing the color. Getzlaff should be in the top 10 anyway.
No, he's really good.
And Rupper's great. I love Colby. I'm forgetting who else does it. And then,
Borky does TV.
Borky.
Borky's the best.
Jesus, sorry. Yeah, I always think Borky, radio, but and then you got Jake Caulfield. Like, how can you? Jay's the best in the television. So second to last is.
I disagree. I watch a lot of games around the league. I could not vehemently disagree with that more. There's some bad broadcasts out there. I won't name names, but I don't agree.
Yeah. No, we've been blessed with a lot of things in Pittsburgh, but broadcasting with the Penguins.
Oh.
We obviously talked about a ton with Mike Lang, Staggy, who, by the way, we should have him on for summer programming.
Staggy will come on for sure.
Will come on. Don't worry.
Yeah, we'll get him on.
We'll maybe have to do that one recorded and then edit it down, and then I can stream it live later.
Oh, we get yeah, because you can't talk with Staggy. Just warms up at the hour mark. You talk hockey with Staggy for 7 hours.
It's true. Oh yeah, I do all the time. Yeah,
Staggy's the absolute best. But
Nice.
we're gonna have Joe Brand. I'm not buttering up to Joe Brand, but he definitely filled into some shoes on the radio, because I, most of the time have to listen to games on the radio when I'm on the road, and he did an incredible job. And
he's
I
good.
absolutely love Bork. I know Borky probably makes more money on television. I'm not trying to stop his career. Phil knows how much I love him, but Borky is the best on the radio.
Oh.
You can feel the passion
Mm-hmm.
through the radio, and especially after a tough loss. I'm walking. We call it the loser loop. I'll run in front of a truck for that guy. Like,
Oh,
I mean, he should be in the locker room giving the speech. I mean, it really is incredible.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
Borky
cares more
takes
than some of the players, quite honestly, and that's I don't know if that's a problem.
I'd
or
say
not.
all but Sid, maybe Rusty. He
He
cares.
does though. No, Borky bleeds black and gold. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's so good at his job, because when he busts out the Christopher Letang, it's either a good or a bad thing, but
Usually
immediately based on his voice what it is.
That's right.
Oh man, but no, we're lucky. So yeah, that's some summer programming that's coming your ways. And as always, follow us all on Twitter, X, Instagram, wherever. And go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel, because most of you people that watch this don't actually subscribe. So we need more subscribers. I'm not sitting here like begging for subscribers. I'm very happy with the numbers. But if there's 1,500 people watching and only 500 subscribers, what's going on? You want to get notified when we go live, people? Come on. Maybe we'll have to get some kind of giveaway going. We had in our text thread, we have a pretty good idea.
That means if we have 1,500 live, we'll give away 500 bobbleheads. So 1,000 people get screwed, just like the Pirates.
That's a good idea. We should get Joe bobble stashes. Get some.
Ooh, I like that.
But all right, so yeah, we will screw you over just like the Pirates next week on Two for Talking. See ya. It's ending, I swear.
Doesn't want us to end.